These marriages are not perfect, but all in all, they seem to work. Marriage is an institution for grown-ups.
It's like a love-hate relationship.
There are no bosses in a modern marriage. He knows he's lucky to have a wife.
I forgot what episode it is. I need to get my notebook out. Here we go. Episode 36 of Husband and Wife Sentenced to Life. It's Simon and Lorra here. Now, what you're not hearing today is the crunch underfoot.
No, we're not.
The wind in our hair.
I'm missing it.
I really wanted to go for the walk. We're currently sat at Calshot Beach. There's a little car park in between the beach huts. We're staring out to sea. The Red Funnel Ferry is making its way from Southampton to the Isle of Wight, which is...
You can't see it at all.
Well, over that way where Cowes is, look, there is just a...
Shadow.
Very faint shadow, which you have to focus on to see it. And it's chucking it down. The weather report is for 100% rain. It's going to rain non-stop till about 5 o'clock this afternoon. First day we've had like this.
Yeah. The seagulls are still out.
It's the job, innit? This is where they live. And this car park is a paid car park. Now we have 2 vans from the New Forest District Council about 6 spaces down. And we've not paid. But I said, should we just drive the car down, sit at the beach?
They know they've got a quiet day, look.
Yeah, well, that's why they're here. They're probably... Their bosses won't be coming down here to check up on them. So they're coming down here. It's what a great place to sit. So... Yeah, we're sitting looking out to sea, so there might be some action in a minute. If they start walking over, we might have to move and go somewhere else.
The quick getaway.
Yeah. So let's have a chat about yesterday. Well, we're in the brand new hire car, first things first. The Skoda Octavia, which is a beaut.
You like it, don't you?
It's an estate, it's very quiet.
It's got a massive screen.
It's got a huge, like... the telly in my bedroom were about that size.
Yeah.
When I was a little kid, the little black and white Hitachi. But... This one has got the computerised dashboard, like Knight Rider or something.
Does it not distract you, though, when you're driving?
Well, at the minute I've got the GPS on it, so the full map is right in front of me. But you can make it do all sorts of things. But it's a cool car. It's made me want one, actually. So we went and picked the car up yesterday morning from West Quay in Southampton. And then we parked in West Quay, which is Southampton's closest thing to a mall that Southampton's got. It's a shopping centre in the middle of town.
I'm not very good with my facts, but I feel like it was one of the very first malls or shopping centres of its kind in England, I think.
So we parked up and we walked in, and obviously first job of the day, because we'd not had a coffee, had we? First job of the day was to find somewhere to have coffee, which wasn't as easy as it should be.
No. And I was waiting for one of us to get annoyed.
Well...
Having to do the search.
I didn't mind because I knew that the treat was coming at the end of it, but it didn't really. So I ended up in Costa Coffee near Waterstones, which is downstairs in West Quay, and expecting a better vegan and vegetarian selection. I've got unbelievable to say this, but Dubai's Costa has got better vegan and vegetarian food than England's has.
Definitely.
So we had bacon baps, which we excitedly picked up. Ooh, bacon baps.
You love a bap, don't you?
Yeah. Well, I normally manage a pair of baps with plenty of sauce on.
Exactly.
They were just dry bread cakes with some sort of vegetarian vegan bacon on and nothing else. It was dry, it was rubbish. You can see it on my Insta stories. I gave it a 3 out of 10, and I think that were generous.
Oh, I feel like they tried. They tried by even calling it bacon bap, vegan bacon bap. They tried, but yeah, it was very dry. If
that had been a real bacon sandwich, you'd have been gutted. If it was somebody who eats meat, you wouldn't have been happy with that as a bacon sandwich.
No.
So we did that, and then we walked out into Southampton
High Street
city centre, the main drag, and we went our separate ways. We veered off. I took the high road, staying above ground. You went to Primark.
Yeah, well, I think it's a bit of a tradition for that's what especially the ladies from Dubai, they come here stock up the case with the cheap clothes. So, and I was, promised Honey, who's stuck in Dubai, that I'd do her a little shop. But I would say it was unsuccessful, actually.
I mean, I don't know what the appeal of that place is. I find it horrible. I mean, it's cheap, so that's fine.
Yeah, for things like leggings and vest tops and stuff that
Yeah. Now, I would have thought Leo would have gone with you. You took Betsy Pearl, and I wasn't trying to push him on you, but I'm thinking he's going to want more cheap, tatty, fashion clothes. Now he's going to be a student. He decided to come with me and not you, and I was going to get on one. Records, trainers, my stuff. He comes along with me, no problem. It's lovely to spend time with him. And first stop was Urban Outfitters,
which I love.
Yeah, well, I don't think you would have loved it. I think you'd have might have found some clothes in there. We literally went in, looked at the records on offer. Urban Outfitters sells 8 albums.
Oh, really?
Considers themselves a music shop because they sell 8 albums, most of which are dross. So we went on in there 2 minutes. Then we hopped on. This car we're in is so futuristic. It doesn't have. Not only does it not have a lighter to plug the thing into, plug the USB adapter in. Modern cars all have USBs. This one doesn't have USBs. It has USB-Cs. It's so futuristic.
Do we even know why?
No.
Yeah.
So I had to buy some new knockoff wires from a man on the street.
Because we need some new wires.
For charge it. Well, you'll say that now. When you're on your way up to Bristol and you want to charge your phone.
Yeah.
Just remember who to thank. So we got them. Then I went to the Oxfam record shop, which is just, what's that big archway called?
The Bargate.
Yeah, there's a bit of history there. And expected big things and expected to be a bit more money. Got nothing in Oxfam, sadly. Poundland for a couple of oven trays for Leo. I'm sure you'll agree they were a bargain.
Bargain.
Probably no Teflon on them. And then I was just going in trainer shops. I always like to see UK trainers that I can't get in Dubai. I only treat myself to some, but I held off.
I was disappointed you didn't get any.
I've seen the ones I want.
Because when you've bought something for yourself, you're a happier person.
It's endorphins, innit? It's like popping a pill. It's the endorphins, it's the release, it's the thing. But I'm also trying to be more sensible. Because here's the other thing yesterday. What I could have bought a pair of 100 quid trainers, but what I did spend 100 quid on is getting Leo's phone screen repaired and putting a new battery in his phone. A phone that is, if I saw that phone laying on the side of the road, I wouldn't pick it up as I found a free phone.
Yeah, because it's in such a state, yeah.
So bad.
Well, I kept saying to him, he's obviously got money and stuff of his own, and I've been saying to him, "Want to get your screen fixed?" Nah, I like it like this. I'm like, who likes their phone
so annoying,
cracked? Oh yeah, it looks cool like this. I said, no one's looking at your phone going, his phone looks cool because it's cracked.
Him saying that, by the way, is that he's totally on this teenage vibe at the minute. I'm not getting my phone screen repaired because it looks cool cracked. Nobody on earth thinks that. I'm getting a tattoo. Get a tattoo then. I'm getting my ear pierced. Get your ear pierced then.
Did you not hear me? Oh, Leo, tattoo shop over there. You should go and get your tattoo.
Yeah, went quiet, didn't it?
Yeah, and then when you said you'd been to the Marlin Centre, I was like, oh, they do ear piercing. They should have got your ear pierced.
Well, today, if we go out today, I'm pushing it to call his bluff. See what happens. He's been such a teenager. So yeah, I just went to absolutely tons of shops, and then get a message from you. We're just in the changing rooms. Now, I can't put a time on this. To me, it felt like it was about 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
You'll say it was a bit shorter, but...
I know it was.
But just knowing how much of town I covered and how many shops I went in, it was definitely around 2 hours.
Yeah, but I had Betsy, which I feel like you wouldn't have done what Betsy wanted, which is she basically wanted to look at every single...
No, you're right, I wouldn't. But if I'd have been with you, if you'd have made me come into Primark, I would have been furious. I came to meet you in there, and I was only in there, half an hour. And I was so angry about being in there. Like, I hated it. And by that point, I'd already said this to Leo. I said, I've got to get out of this city centre because it's making me feel ugly. Because everybody in the British city centres these days are ugly. I mean, there was homeless people battling for busking rights. There was a guy playing an electric violin that sounded awful, and he's playing Lionel Richie's Hello. Up the road there's a bloke, he's too close to him, you could hear them both. He's playing a saxophone with backing track of REO Speedwagon. It was driving me insane.
And then there's the really drunk guy at 11 a.m. dancing in the middle of them all. Did you see him?
Brilliant. I didn't see him, no.
And then Betsy, bless her, she's like, oh, this is different to Dubai.
It's just the underbelly. And you know what? This is why Jeremy Kyle's TV show were a good thing. Yes, it was an awful TV show that showed the worst in people, but it got them all off the streets while I wanted to go shopping. So, yeah.
I think you've been away too long because that just...
Yeah, but because where we are, we're coastal here, it's the New Forest, it's pretty, there's pretty little villages and towns, and them kind of people. And look, I'm working class, so I'm not being horrible here. You know, they're not that far removed from me, but I've got the good sense, you know, not to spend my entire life in a shell suit and doing whatever it is that makes the skin look like that, you know. Day drinking. No offence, Laura. So, couldn't wait to get out of there. I ended up not buying much, so I didn't get that endorphin satisfaction, but I'm glad you came away with a suitcase full of tat from Primark.
Yeah, but you see, I don't like shopping. I'm a rare female that doesn't like shopping. So I literally was doing it for Betsy and Honey. Like, I think I came away with 3 things, and I think I only bought them for the sake of it. You know what I mean? Like, but I've done it now because it was one of my to-do things that I had to do for the kids. So I've done it. It's been ticked off.
The buy of the day for me. Well, I've got 2. But as we passed back through towards the car, we called in at Marks and Spencer's because they've got a big food hall in the Marks and Spencer's. And you wanted to get some drinks for the car, just some waters. And while you were going, and I could have kept my mouth shut here, by the way.
You could have. But you know.
So you'd gone to get the stuff and go to the tills. And I spotted the Marks and Spencer's sparkly Christmas bottles.
Which sold out last year.
Yeah.
We were obviously in Dubai, so you can't buy alcohol in the Marks and Spencer's in Dubai.
But we are mad on Christmas.
We love Christmas.
So anything that looks Christmassy, look, I don't drink booze, but these bottles light up and are full of glitter.
So they're like snow globes, aren't they?
They're snow globes with booze in, which is one of my favourite things and one of your favourite things mixed together. So I shouted you to come over.
I was very jealous last year of anyone that managed to get one, so... Yeah, we got in early.
People have been saying the same thing to me on the socials since seeing that, you know, like that's on the top of my wife's Christmas bucket list and things like that. And thanks to everybody who's commented on the Thunderbird, all men. Thanks to everyone who's commented on the Thunderbirds post I put on yesterday, showing me a little car boot sale purchase.
Showing your little toy off.
A lot of men getting misty-eyed over the memories.
I don't get that, but yeah.
So we got back in the car. It was quite miserable. It wasn't like it is today, rainy and grey, but it was grey. And I feel like we're a bit of a loss then. So we ended up driving down to Lymington because I'm on the hunt for a jumper in fat face that I can't find.